The movie opens with Kate, a woman still struggling to move forward after the sudden death of her wife Patty. She now lives alone on their horse farm, and without her wife, the responsibility of keeping it running has become overwhelming. Things get worse when a contractor tells her the roof is close to collapsing and needs to be replaced, a repair that will cost $9,000 she doesn't have. With no other options, Kate turns to her ex-husband Richard for help. During their meeting, he points out that she has canceled riding lessons for the past 6 months, making it clear the farm is no longer functioning as a viable business. While he acknowledges her loss, he tells her he cannot keep financially supporting something that is failing, especially now that they are no longer married and the farm was never something he wanted in the first place. If she can't sustain it, he believes she should sell. Their conversation soon shifts to their daughter Claire, who has been battling addiction for years. Richard reveals that Claire recently showed up at his house in the middle of the night asking for money. He argues that Kate's continued support only enables Claire's behavior. Despite his frustration, Richard ultimately agrees to provide the money for the roof, but warns Kate that she needs to stop giving in to Claire's demands. Not long after this conversation, Claire shows up at the farm claiming she's clean. She asks to use Kate's iPad to check her messages and explains that her boyfriend Ryan threw her phone into the ocean during a fight. As revenge, she later went in his closet, took his bag, and threw it off a bridge without knowing what was inside. Kate agrees to get her a new phone, and the two spend some time together at the farm. After dinner, Claire suggests they go to the lake the next day. She is worried about her mom and thinks it will be good for her. But then Claire's boyfriend, Ryan, shows up at the house, angry and demanding his belongings back. He reveals that the bag Claire threw away contained half a kilo of drugs and admits he has already told his dealer Jackie that Claire was responsible and that Jackie knows where she lives. Kate comes to the door after hearing the confrontation, but Claire brushes her off and leaves with Ryan. Later that night, Kate wakes up and hears that Claire has come back and finds her in the bathroom. She is high and barely responsive. Kate cleans her up and puts her in a bed. The next day, Kate and Claire go to the lake as planned. Claire is clearly coming down from the previous night, and her mood is noticeably different. While they're in the water, Kate mentions an ad she saw for creative writing classes at the community college and suggests Claire consider it. Claire says she's not a writer and that it doesn't matter anyway because she is a failure. Kate begs her not to talk like that. Later, back at the farmhouse, Claire is outside when a man suddenly approaches her and startles her. This is Jackie, Ryan's dealer, who has shown up with Ryan still in the car. He asks Claire where his drugs are, and she explains that she threw them accidentally. Jackie becomes aggressive and kicks her hard in the stomach while demanding the drugs back. Ryan tries to step in, but Jackie punches him as well. Kate hears the dog barking and comes out to see what's happening. She intervenes and threatens to call the police, forcing Jackie to leave. Before going, he makes it clear that if the drugs aren't returned, someone will have to pay. After he leaves, Kate demands an explanation. Claire tells her that Jackie is Ryan's dealer and that she accidentally threw away his drugs when she dumped Ryan's bag. Kate becomes worried that he now knows where they live, but Claire insists she will fix the situation and that he won't come back. After the confrontation, Kate leaves the farm and goes to a diner to calm down and think. When she returns, she sees Claire outside with Ryan. Kate is angry that Ryan is back. Claire tells her not to worry. They're leaving to go camping in the woods. Before they go, Claire asks for money. Remembering her promise not to enable her anymore, Kate refuses. Claire is already in withdrawal and quickly spirals. She becomes verbally aggressive, yelling and tearing through the house while demanding money. Kate retreats to her bedroom and locks the door, but Claire keeps banging on it, cycling through guilt and pressure to get what she wants. Kate tells her she has nothing left. She's already given everything to try to help her. When nothing has worked, Claire calls Ryan and tells him to take her mom's dog and abandon it somewhere where it won't be able to find its way back. Kate rushes to protect the dog. Claire physically attacks her, biting her shoulder and screaming at her, but Kate refuses to let go. Ryan eventually pulls Claire away and gets her to leave with him. The two drive off together, and Kate is left alone at the farm. That night, she breaks down. With Claire gone, Kate reconnects with an old friend named Leslie, who stops by the farm. She immediately notices how isolated Kate has become since Patty's death. The two talk about her wife and how sudden the loss was, and Leslie encourages Kate to reach out instead of trying to carry everything alone. Her friend offers to stay and help with the work for the day. That night, they order food, drink together, and end up dancing in the living room. By the end of the night, Leslie helps Kate to bed and stays over. After this, there's a small but noticeable shift in Kate. She starts giving writing lessons again, reaching out to former clients, and slowly returning to some sense of routine. Late one night, Claire returns to the farm panicked and covered in blood. She tells Kate that while camping, she and Ryan got into an argument. He became aggressive, and in fear, she struck him with a rock. She believes she killed him. Kate asks where Ryan is, and Claire shows her the back seat of her car. His body is inside, wrapped and taped. Kate immediately starts asking practical questions, whether anyone saw them in the woods and if anyone knows where they were. Claire says she doesn't think anyone saw them. She also hands Kate Ryan's phone. Faced with the situation, Kate decides not to call the police. Instead, she tells Claire to remove her clothes, bag them, take a shower, and stay in her room until she returns. Kate removes the body from the car, loads it into a small rowboat, and weighs it down with heavy bricks. She then takes the boat out onto Marsh Creek Lake, gets into the water, and dumps the body. After returning home, she cleans Claire's car and helps construct a story. Claire and Ryan came back to the farm after camping. They argued, and he left. Claire tells her she didn't ask her to do any of this, but Kate replies that she didn't have to. She did it because she loves her and won't let anything happen to her. For a moment, it seems like things might settle after the lake incident. But shortly after, Claire comes back from the store shaken, telling Kate that Jackie approached her again and is asking about Ryan and the money he owes. Soon after, Jackie shows up at the farmhouse himself and demands the $10,000 Ryan owes him. Hoping to end the situation, Kate writes him a check. After he leaves, she tells Claire he won't bother them anymore. The next morning, Kate goes to wake Claire, but finds her gone, and Claire isn't answering her phone. After a restless night, Kate realizes Claire had previously logged into her account on the iPad. Using that, she tracks Claire's phone and finds it about 60 miles away. She drives to the location and approaches a house. Inside, she discovers that Ryan is still alive and hiding there with Claire. When Ryan sees her, he tells Claire they need to leave. They run through the house and out the back. Kate tries to stop them as they get into a car, demanding to know whose body she buried and what Claire made her do. Ryan forces her off the car, and they drive away. Back at the farm, Kate accesses Claire's messages through the account she had logged into on the iPad. She reads an exchange between Claire and Ryan, where Claire says she can make her mother do anything, even dispose of a body for her. Kate deletes the message and then looks up information about how deep Marsh Creek Lake is, worried the body might surface. The next day, she returns to the lake and takes out a small boat to the area where she dumped the body. She dives several times and eventually locates it, but becomes exhausted and falls asleep in the boat. When she wakes, a lake patrol officer approaches and tells her she's been out on the water for a while. Kate claims she's searching for her lost wedding ring. After he leaves, she dives again and secures the body with an additional brick to keep it submerged. Later at home, Kate watches a recording of her wedding to Patty and becomes overwhelmed. In the middle of the night, she calls her friend and confesses everything. The next day, Leslie arrives at the farm after Kate's late-night call. She urges Kate to leave with her and come stay at her home for a few days. Kate agrees and goes with her. While Kate is away, Jackie shows up at the farmhouse. Through the Ring camera, he contacts her and makes it clear that he knows what she did at the lake. Kate agrees to return and meet him. When she comes back, Jackie explains what really happened. After Claire dumped his drugs, she and Ryan began dealing to repay the debt. Ryan cut the supply with fentanyl to stretch it, but used too much, causing one of their buyers, a young man, to overdose and die. Jackie came up with a plan to manipulate Kate into handling the situation, though he didn't expect she would actually go through with it. Now that he knows how far she's willing to go to protect her daughter, he wants more. Kate insists she has no money left, but Jackie points out that she still has the farm, land, buildings, and horses, and says he wants everything. He tells her that if she refuses, he can make a single call to the police that would connect the overdose victim back to Ryan, Claire, and ultimately to her. When Kate says she can't do it, Jackie overpowers her and drugs her. He takes her phone, keys, and computer, effectively holding her hostage in her own home. He tells her she has 2 days to come up with the money, far more than she could realistically pay. Afterward, Jackie moves into the apartment above the barn and cancels all of Kate's upcoming riding lessons, saying he doesn't want anyone coming around the farm. While Jackie is distracted watching TV, Kate secretly retrieves her iPad and locks herself in her bedroom. She sees messages in which Claire apologizes and reveals that the man whose body she disposed of was named Greg Kaminsky. The next day, Kate uses the iPad again to contact Leslie. She brings up a mutual acquaintance who once burned down his own farm for insurance money, but was caught. Leslie explains he was caught because he used a road flare to start the fire and left a piece of it behind. Leslie asks if Kate is all right, but Kate avoids answering and ends the conversation. Kate comes to Jackie with a plan to burn down the barn in order to collect the insurance money and pay him. She suggests she could add him as an employee so the payout could be transferred to him later without raising suspicion. Jackie immediately pushes the plan further. Instead of just burning the barn, he insists they include the horses as well to increase the payout. When Kate hesitates, he makes it clear that this needs to be worth his time. Before they can move forward, one of Kate's clients, Emma, unexpectedly arrives at the farm to pick up equipment. Kate offers to deal with her, but Jackie insists on handling it himself. He introduces himself as the new farmhand and makes sure she leaves without seeing anything unusual. After Emma goes, Jackie agrees to move ahead with the plan. Kate begins preparing by arranging for hay to be brought into the barn to make the fire spread more easily. She explains that the fire should be set between 2 and 3 a.m., so it is time to burn before anyone notices and calls emergency services. Jackie is actively involved in the preparation, including purchasing the road flares that will be used to start the fire. When the time comes, Kate tells him he can leave and let her handle it, but he chooses to stay nearby to make sure she actually goes through with it before eventually driving off. The next day, investigators from the police and fire department inform Kate that the fire appears to have been set intentionally. A piece of a road flare was found at the point of ignition. When asked about anyone living on the property, Kate confirms that an employee named Jackie had been staying in the apartment above the barn. She says his car was there when she went to bed around 10 p.m., but it was gone by the time she noticed the fire. The officer then tells her that a body has been found inside the apartment. Kate reacts with shock and asks if it was Jackie, but the officer says the remains are too badly burned to identify. Kate is later brought to the police station for questioning. An officer tells her they've located Jackie, but he is denying ever working for her or even knowing her. Kate reacts with surprise. When asked whether anyone else had seen Jackie at the farm, she mentions that one of her clients, Emma, had come by to pick up a saddle pad and encountered him there. She provides Emma's contact details so the officer can verify this. She also recalls meeting someone Jackie introduced as a friend named Greg Kaminsky. When Jackie is brought in for questioning, the officer shows him a photo of a young man and asks if he recognizes him. Jackie denies knowing him. The officer then reveals the man's name is Greg and that he was identified through dental records. He goes on to tell Jackie that Greg's body was found at the farm inside the apartment above the barn. Jackie insists he never worked there, but the officer presents a bank record showing that Kate transferred $2,500 to his account. He also tells Jackie that a client has confirmed seeing him on the property. A flashback reveals what really happened after Kate called her friend a couple of nights ago. That night, Kate secretly left and met Leslie at the lake. Together, they took a boat out and recovered Greg's body from the water. Later, after Kate set the fire and Jackie drove off, Kate and Leslie moved Greg's body into the burning barn apartment. Kate was also able to release the horses from the barn before the fire spread. Back in the present, Jackie tries to give his version of events during questioning, but the officer doesn't believe him. Along with the financial records and witness statements placing him at the farm, the officer reveals that Jackie was also seen purchasing road flares at a nearby gas station. He is arrested for setting the fire that destroyed the barn, as well as for his role in Greg's overdose through the distribution of the fentanyl-laced drugs. Leslie later picks Kate up from the station and Kate breaks down as her friend reassures her that it's over. Kate rebuilds the farm and is finally able to replace the roof using the insurance payout. She returns to teaching writing lessons and focuses on her work. She ignores the messages from Claire, who repeatedly asks for forgiveness. However, Kate does listen to an old voicemail from Patty and Claire, in which Claire apologizes and tells her she loves her. In the final scene, Kate's dog begins barking, something that usually means Claire has returned. Sure enough, Claire is at the front door, with tears in her eyes. Kate stares at her daughter, with an unreadable look on her face. The end. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time.